Hello everybody and welcome back once again to another video update, the first of 2022, and just like to start off by saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Right, okay, so as the title of this video suggests, there is actually a very, very serious part to this video update. I am delivering to you guys a very serious health warning. You need to take heed of what I'm about to say, because if you're watching this, you're probably a computer gamer. Given the circumstances, you may well also work from home. And something has happened to me and happened to my health over the past couple of days that is very serious. Well, I say very serious, but it is serious. And it's likely as a result of working from home and playing video games. So please watch on. And then shut off after the health warning if you want, but please do watch, because it's very rare that I deliver anything serious. And I'm using what's happened to me as a means to try and educate people now. So please do watch on, even if you don't watch the rest of the video. So I'm going to start off with a very macabre and somber message, an update to start this video off, and then we'll get to the more perky stuff at the second half. And I'm just having a cup of tea, and this video was brought to you by Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Okay, so I'm fit and healthy. I played football, five-a-side football, since I was 13, so about 25 years now. I played competitive five-a-side football, which is my absolute passion and love, for about 11 years now. And I don't miss a game. I don't miss a game at all unless I'm injured, which has happened only about 5 times. About 5 games I've missed in 11 years through injury. I was talking to people about a month ago about how I'm never injured. And also, I miss if I'm on holiday. So, 4 times a week I play. 4 times a week, so I get my exercise, I do my cardio workouts in between that, so I have literally 1 day off. I work out 6 days a week, I eat relatively healthily, I watch my portion control for most of the year. Yes, I have times off, such as December, such as holidays, if, time around my birthday in May, where I don't adhere to this strict regime, but more often than not, I'm very, very healthy. And I've had tests and things done in the past for little minor issues that could have been serious, but they turned out to be absolutely nothing. Every test I've ever had, blood tests, MRI scans and things, have all come back negative. So, it's just like, well, it's whatever it is. Nothing ever turns out to be serious. I'm a healthy chap. So about 2 weeks ago, I've had a couple of colds due to going back to the office in September. I had one in September. Then another one came back in November. And as a result of your cold, you start coughing up a bit of phlegm. And I've been coughing up phlegm for about 2 to 3 weeks as part of this cold. And I noticed about 2 weeks ago that there was a little bit of blood in the phlegm. So me being me, I'm not going to the doctors unless it's something very serious. There's only a little tiny bit of blood in the phlegm here. There's no reason to be overly concerned. It's one incident. It could be anything. I was coughing quite vigorously, in fact, during having this second cold in December, and I thought, little micro tear in the gullet or something as a result of coughing vigorously. That's all it's going to be. Thought nothing else of it, continued with my work, continued with LPing, continued with football. Christmas is coming, very busy time, lots of things to worry about. This issue is put to the back of my mind. And then as the weeks have progressed, this was about 2 weeks ago, as the weeks progressed over Christmas and things, I've been still coughing up phlegm as part of the cold, I'm still assuming. And there's not every single day, but there's still been these little flecks of blood in the phlegm. So I, thought, okay, it's now more than once, but it's still only little tiny bits. Fast forward to Friday. It happened again, about 2 o'clock. I was at work, coughed into a tissue. Oh, there's a bit of blood in that one. Only a tiny bit, fine, put it in the bin, carried on working. Coughed again. Oh, again, another little bit of blood. So this is now twice in half an hour, and it's the first time it's happened in a quick succession like that. So then I thought, right, okay, it's 2 weeks now, it's happened twice in half an hour, so it might be getting a bit worse. I'll Google it. Not that I'll ring the doctor first. No, I'll speak to Dr. Google first, see what Google says. So I did a Google search, and it said, you put your symptoms in and on the NHS website, and if you put my symptoms in, you must ring your doctor immediately. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm going out this evening. Oh, this doesn't take long. Rung the doctor, receptionist, told her my symptoms. Right, I'll get you into the doctor's today. Okay, thank you very much. Put the phone down. rung a friend to explain that I might be a bit late later because I'm having to go to the doctor's now and it's going to delay me shopping and, I'll be with you as soon as I can. Whilst I was on the phone to her, literally 5 minutes after making the appointment, the doctor was ringing. 5 minutes. A doctor doesn't ring you back in 5 minutes, usually, in my practice. So at that point I thought, oh, hang on, cut my mate off. Answered the phone to the doctor. Give the symptoms to the doctor again, and the doctor said, you will go to A&E now. I said, well, I'm going out. Priorities, I'm going out. No, he said, you're going to A&E now. I said, okay, fine. I said, why? He said, because the first thing we need to rule out is a blood clot in the lungs, because that is one of the symptoms of that, and that is a very serious situation, and that needs to be ruled out first. And, if it's something, it might not be, it could be a chest infection, could be something else, the tear because of the coughing, but that needs to be ruled out immediately. Go down, get a chest x-ray, get some blood tests done, and then we'll take it from there. So after being told that, and the doctor's tone and the urgency of the situation, I thought, okay, fine, I will go to the A&E, fine. So I went to A&E, got there at 3:30. I was there until 3:30 in the morning, 12 hours, which was the most horrific experience not because of the test. I had an ECG, a chest x-ray, blood tests done, COVID tests done. It was the waiting around, because every time you had a test done, you had to wait for 2 or 3 hours, and then another test, and then another wait. And then the final test. So every test came back clear. Chest x-ray, fine, great lung capacity, 100% lung capacity. Blood test for the chest part was fine. ECG completely normal. The final test that they did and sent off to the lab that they were waiting for was the test for the blood clots. So I'm there. That was at 11 o'clock at night. It's now 3:30. I've been there for 12 hours. I'm now beginning to get very impatient. I'm tired. I haven't eaten for over 12 hours. I'm now very grumpy. So I go into the reception area of the part that I was waiting in, and I then approached the first doctor that I saw behind the desk, and I wasn't rude, but I was a little bit curt, and I said, look, I've been here for 12 hours, doctor. I've been waiting 4 hours for these blood clot tests. I am now going home. I said, I know this is a serious result, potentially, that's going to come back. It's a serious test, so I need to know the result. So I will come back tomorrow, or I will ring you tomorrow, but I am now going home unless the test results are back now, because I've been here for 12 hours. I'm getting more and more irate. And he said, oh, hang on, okay. And then he looked to his left on the desk, and on his desk was a bit of paper with my name on it. And he said, are you Damien? I said, yes. I said, the results have just come back now. I thought, that's good timing. Right, just give me the good news and let me get out of here. And he said, has somebody spoken to you about having an injection in your stomach? And that's when the alarm bells started to ring. And I said, no. I said, as I've explained, nobody has even given me the results of the test yet. Nobody's spoken to me. He said, oh, okay. He said, well, the results of the tests are abnormally high. And that's the first time in my life that I've ever been given any news like that. So I went a bit funny. I went a bit cold. Went into a bit of a state of shock. And, I started asking a few questions. High, how high? Apparently the count should be no more than 250. It was 450, but it wasn't exceptionally high, which he said was about 1,000. So he said, combine that with the coughing of the blood in the phlegm, we need to get you in for a CT scan tomorrow. In the meantime, you have to have 2 injections into your stomach to thin your blood. And he's telling me all this, and he's giving me all this information, and I'm just like running ear, out of that ear, not comprehending very well. Went out, my legs were shaking, I'm physically now shaking, I'm cold because the whole of the A&E is freezing because every window's open because of the circumstances at the moment. I sit down, I'm trying to comprehend all this information. The woman comes to do the needles in my stomach within like 5 minutes. It's the quickest I've ever waited down there. So obviously the urgency of the situation. She literally played darts with me. She jabbed me in the stomach with these 2 injections, not nice and gentle. She pinched my skin and jabbed it in. Oh, Jesus, it was painful as hell. And then I was sent on my way. So I got home for about 4 o'clock and had to ring the hospital like 8:30 the next morning. So I had about 2 hours sleep. It was horrendous. So then fast forward to yesterday, which is when I had the CT scan, Saturday, and they pump dye around your body, which was a very strange experience, and then scan you, and then they give you the results. So they did all that, and the result was, I do have 2 small blood clots in my lungs. One in each lung. Small. So I was prepared for that, to be frank. I was prepared to be told that because of the blood result and the symptoms. So I was prepared for that. So it wasn't a massive shock. It's a little tiny shock to have it confirmed, but I wasn't upset by that because I had already Googled it, as you do, when I came home after the 12-hour shift in A&E, and just a little bit of Googling just to see what could possibly cause this issue. Because as I said, I'm fit and healthy. What would cause blood clots to form in my bloody lungs? It just seems a very random thing. No family history of it, no other risk factors. I don't smoke, don't drink a massive amount. What could cause it? And then also, what's the prognosis? Self-prognose, and it's treatable with pills, especially if they're not overly big. And these, she confirmed these weren't. They're low risk. There's a low risk of them moving and going into another part of the body and potentially being fatal. That's also a very, very small risk. So it's very, very good. So it's not like doom and gloom. It's looking good, and the likelihood is the pills will break down the clots because you're young and everything else is fine. We just need to try and ascertain how these have happened. So this is where the health warning comes in for you guys, right? So please do listen. I'd already realised this because I did some thinking, and you'll have to excuse the crappy lighting. The lighting is the least of the concerns right now, of course. This is where the health warning comes in. We both concurred together. I'd already done this research. I'd already kind of twigged on what could possibly have caused this, and I kind of ran this past the doctor, and she agreed that yes, although we can never prove it 100%, it is a very, very likely reason for this happening. And I could kill. Probably the wrong phraseology. I could really kick myself for how this has happened, because health warning. I work from home now, and when you work in an office, you're walking about to get to your car, to get to your bus, to get to your train, to get to the office. When you're in the office, you're usually walking about. Yes, even if you're a desk-based job, you don't sit at your desk from getting into the office for 8 hours and then you go home. You never do that. You're in your office, you sit down, you're talking with mates, you're talking with colleagues, somebody will call you over, you get up, you go across, you'll have a bit of a chat, and you go back to your desk and you do a bit more work. You get up, you go to a meeting room to have a meeting, you come back, you sit down, you can do a bit more work. You get up, you go to the canteen or to the kitchen area, you make a coffee, come back and sit down. You get up, you go to the toilet, you come back, you sit down. You're up and you're down. You're never at your desk for one extended period of time. The day's finished, you get up, you go to your car, you go to your train, you go to your bus. So you're up regularly. And that's the important thing. You're not sat for one period of time continually at your desk. You're doing other stuff. And especially with me, because one of my main hobbies, apart from football, is a sedentary hobby. I play computer games. I sit in my chair to play computer games as well. So when working from home, you remove the commute, you remove getting up to talk to friends, and you remove a lot of other stuff as well that you might do. And then so therefore, the tendency is your increased time spent on your chair because you don't have to get up to do things that you would do in the office. I also got a promotion in November 2020, temporary, made permanent a year later. And as a result of that, I've been busier at work. So the tendency is I'm at home. And when I'm at home outside of work on a weekend, I don't have my lunch until about 3 o'clock because I get up a bit later. But that carried on into work. So I'll get up at 7 for work, sit down, working away. I don't move. I might go down for breakfast. Sometimes I don't even do that because Teams call, busy. My mum will come up and give it to me because she knows I'm busy. So she'll come up and before going back to bed and she'll put me breakfast down there. So I've not moved to get me breakfast. So I'm sat from between 7 and about 12 and I've not got out of my chair once because I've been to the toilet before work. So 5 hours not moving. I might go down for a coffee, come back up, sit down and sit for another 3 or 4 hours till the end of the day. And then I'll put my laptop over to the side there. Don't even move to put the laptop away. It's right there at the side. Come back. Right. Computer gaming. LPing. So I'm sat in the chair for another 5 to 6 hours. So I could have been sat in that chair from 7 till 7 at night and barely moved. I could be sat in that chair for 5-6 hours and not move at all. Continually. Legs in a fixed position. It is ridiculous when you think about it. It's ridiculous. You're told when you're on a plane, on a long journey, get up and move, do leg exercises, don't sit for extended periods of time. So why do it at a desk in your house? I don't know. It's just how things have transpired. Combine that with the fact that when I've been sitting and working and not moving in my desk chair, I also don't drink water or juice. I only drink water and juice after football, usually because I'm very thirsty. So then I'll drink about 3 litres, probably because I've not drunk throughout the day and I'm dehydrated. I should have been drinking water and juice through the day to help with lubrication and circulation. What do I drink at lunchtime? A coffee, a diuretic. It removes water from your system. So those 3 things combined, sat for extended periods of time, not drinking water throughout the day, and drinking a diuretic, have led to she says we can never confirm it for certain, but it's a very, very, aggravating factors to suggest that, yes, a clot could have probably formed in your legs as a result of what you've just told me, and then it's moved up into your lungs. And at that point, as I said, I could have kicked myself because it's preventable. So this is the health warning to you guys, right? If you are playing computer games or if you work from home, for heaven's sake, after an hour, get yourselves up and move about. 10-minute break, even 5 minutes. Just move your legs. Keep the circulation going, because if you don't, you could end up in the exact same position as me, which is not nice. So flipping move yourselves, right? Move yourselves around. So, drink water regularly. My mum's been telling me for years, you don't drink enough water, and I'm, mother's fuss. I told you so, didn't she say? Not nastily, of course, she's very worried about me, but I kept telling you to drink more water. I kept telling you sat down for too long. Did I listen? She's just nagging me. Mother's nag you. It's fine, I know best, I'm all right. If I listened to her, I might not be in this bloody mess. So another health warning, listen to your damn parents. They do know better than you. They've been on this earth longer than you, for God's sake. But so there you go. That's the health warning, chaps. Do not have happened to you what's happened to me when you're working. And some people will be like, it's common sense. But it's not common sense, because I like to think I've got common sense, right? It's just easy to do. You don't think. You're playing Football Manager, you're playing a game that you really enjoy, you're playing an MMO, and you sat there for hours and hours enjoying yourself, and before you know it, 10 hours have passed and you've barely moved. I've been doing it for years. I've told you stories about playing Fallout and playing BioWare, and I'm playing World of Warcraft, and I've been sat for like 10 hours straight and barely moved out of my chair. I've joked about it in streams in the past. It's not a laughing matter. Get up and move. That's going to be my new mantra, right? I could make a song and dance out of it. Sounds like a good song, doesn't it? Get up and move. Get up and dance. Get up and move, right? That's the mantra going forward now. Get up and move. Do not stagnate. Do not put yourself at risk of a DVT, of a clot. Get up and move. So there's your health warning, chaps. I'm not going to dwell on it any longer, but I will put into context how this has affected me, just to hammer it home, because again, this could be you if you don't do what I've just told you. To combat this and to, dissolve these clots, which is likely to happen, you've got to take medication. Now, the sat man beside of me, it's called Rivaroxaban. You can take warfarin, you can take another one. She gave me the choice. I thought, choice of 3, lucky me. It's called Rivaroxaban, is the one that I've chosen. And it's they're called blood thinners. They don't thin your blood, they just reduce the clotting of your blood. And it attacks a certain element of the clotting process to make the clotting take longer. So the blood flows around your body more freely, which sounds like a good thing, but it's not. The side effects, or the effects of that, is you bruise more easily. I mean, there's some serious side effects like internal bleeding, and like with quite a few pills, the side effects, and bleeding on the brain. You always look at the more serious ones and think, oh Jesus Christ! But the whole crux of this drug is it prevents the clotting. So if you get knocked, you bleed more easily. So I've got to. I'm on these for 3 months initially. So if you knock yourself, you bruise more easily. If you knock yourself badly, you're at risk of internal bleeding. So I've got to. I've mentioned it in the past, but I'm a clumsy fool. I trip. I knock myself on doors and all sorts. I've got to be so careful for 3 months now to not knock myself or not hit myself. God forbid if I hit my head, because at risk of bleeding on the brain, I've got to go to A&E if ever I hit my head with any degree of force. Straight to A&E. it's, you think to yourself, bloody hell, this is quite serious now. The side effects of these pills and how this is treated it's life changing. And this is where this is the big thing for me. This was the one that floored me, absolutely floored me. Not to the point of tears, just, but the doctor was actually not laughing, but she was like taken aback that I was more concerned at the news that she told me about football than the news she told me about the clots. Because she said, obviously, knocking, internal bleeding, you can't play football. She says, it's up to you if you do, but I'm telling you, you can't play football. You can't play any contact sports, because if you get knocked, you're at risk of serious injury, or worse. If you get hit in the head or elbowed in the stomach, you could be at serious risk whilst you're on these tablets. You cannot play football. I'm on these tablets for 3 months. I can't play football for 3 months. So I'm absolutely devastated that my number one hobby, I'd say, because I don't skip football for streams or anything. So it comes above video gaming for me, football, because it's also a form of exercise, and I love it. And I've played it for years. And to be told just like that, you can't play within 3 months. You can't play again for another 3 months, as of now. No warning. I was a bit in shock. So that was absolutely, the news that devastated me the most. So, yeah, but as I've said, I've got to be now so careful. I've got to constantly check my body for signs of bruising, a serious purple bruising appearing, because that could be a sign of internal bleeding. So I've got to constantly check myself. And I'm bad for doing that. I'm very bad for checking myself. I've got to check all my skin. Ask my mum to check my back and things, to make sure there's no internal bleeding. I've got to keep an eye out for certain symptoms such as dizziness and severe headaches and things which could indicate bleeding on the brain. It is a massive, massive issue. It's a serious thing. I've got to be so on the ball with my own health now as a result of these pills whilst I'm on them. Now, the good news, or the more promising thing, is I could be on them for 3 months and then off them, and then the clots have been dissolved. The clots haven't reoccurred if I change my life, or not if, when I change my lifestyle and get up and move, getting a stand up and sit down desk, wireless headset so that I can walk around in Teams meetings. I will not ever be sat in this chair for an extended period of time without moving myself ever again. Son, go away. So yeah. So factoring that in and taking the pills and doing everything that the doctor said should hopefully 3 months done, on you go. No more clots have occurred. That's the best case scenario, and she said is the most likely scenario given your health, given your age, given the risk factors that's been identified from the tests. So fingers crossed that is what happens. They might want to extend it to 6 months if there's still a little bit of trace of it or whatever. So 6 months, middling case circumstance. She said, I do have to give you, obviously, worst case scenario. And the worst case scenario is you could be on for life. She said it's very unlikely in your case, but I've got to give you that kind of, that news. So I said, well, basically then, if that is the case, I will never play football again. Is what you're telling me. And she went, well, yeah. What? So, yeah, that's very worst case. It's very unlikely, but I've got to be prepared for that. So this is what I'm saying. It could get up and move, please, because you don't want to put yourself through what I've gone through for not looking after yourself properly. The other downside to these pills is you can't drink as much as perhaps I might have done or have done in the past, because you put yourself at risk of falling when you're drunk. You can't get drunk and start bumping into things because you lose, that's the first issue. But the second issue is increased use of alcohol with the pills could lead to internal bleeding. So she said you can have your normal recommended dose of 14 units a week. So I don't have to swear off alcohol. But my days, at least for 3 months, of sitting down on a Friday, Saturday and drinking half a bottle of rum, no longer. So when she told me that, I'm like, Doctor, are you trying to ruin my life? I can't drink my rum in the copious amounts that I'm used to occasionally. And I can't play football. Do you want to just tell me that I can't play computer games and just completely ruin my life? I'm trying to keep it a bit lighthearted, But yeah, so I'm going to end it on that. So as I said, just look after yourself. Don't put yourself through what I've gone through. But thankfully, touch wood, the prognosis is positive, low risk of it going any worse, getting any worse. It's being treated now with the pills. And hopefully I'll be on them for 3 months, and I can look back at the end of 2022 and think to myself, phew, although 2022 got off to a horrendously bad start, at least it's now looking much more rosy. I'm playing my football again and I'm enjoying my life again. Hopefully. What's this? I've got an incoming voice call. It's my mate. I was about to give him a call after I've done this video. He's probably hurt. I've told my friends about what's happened, but I haven't told him yet. I was going to tell him this morning, and he's probably ringing to find out. I'm just a bit sad that somebody else has told him first. Right. Anyway, so there you go, folks. There you go. Take heed. Don't let this happen to you or to anyone else you know. Now, I'm not one for saying, share my videos, send it around the world, let's get as many views as possible. But I do want to get as many views on this video as possible because I want it to be a form of education. So if you know anybody that sits down on the backside for too long whilst working, whilst playing computer games, and you think, hang on, they need a bit of a culture shock here to change their ways, send them this video because I want this to hit home and force people to change their habits, please. And there endeth the sermon. I'll keep you posted about my health. Touch wood. Keep your fingers crossed for me. That's all I ask. Right. How long? 25 minutes. Wow. The second half of this video, or second part of this video, is about LPing, and not much has changed with my LPing. So I'll wrap it up, and I'll probably go into more of my LPing stuff a bit later down the line. This is the main crux of this video, really, is the health side of it. But I just want to say a big thank you, first of all, to people who have supported me over 2021 on Patreon, via my super chats, which are now open, or just by watching, taking part in the streams, engaging on the Discord. You know, the community as a whole has been absolutely fantastic. So I want to thank you all so much for the support that you've shown in 2021, and for most of you for far longer than that. I want to thank Uncle Mozilla for providing me with thumbnails throughout the year and video updates. I want to thank people that have gifted me games. You know, your guys' generosity has been absolutely fantastic. And there's a reason why, and some people ask, why on earth have you managed to do this for 12 years? Because of you guys, the community that's been built. I've always had a community on the forums, on the Discord, people that have watched for so long, and the streams are so much fun, and that's why I still do this. It's a hobby. I love playing computer games. I love interacting with you guys in the streams, and that's why I still go on. And I've always said, and still will say, if one person is enjoying, and I'm enjoying, then I will continue on for as long as I can, and for as long as I'm enjoying it. And I still am. Hence why I'm still here. So thank you all so much. I've got one request. Keep watching, of course. Share this video with people that you think need to see it for the health part. But also, in terms of things changing in 2022, I can't think of too much to change. I'm quite happy with the setup. I've got my new computer. The quality of the videos is much better. 1440p streams occasionally, 1440p videos. Everything is pretty much where I want it to be right now. But, I'm open to feedback. So the first ask I've got is, if you've got any feedback at all about how I might be able to improve things on the channel, what's your favourite? What kind of video length do you prefer to see? What time of upload do you prefer to see? Although we have to cater to different time zones, of course. Anything at all. Put a comment down. I'll have a look at them, and if I need to change anything, then I'll look at suggestions and constructive feedback and maybe implement a change or two. So that's the first request. The second request is, Uncle Mozilla does my intro videos for my main game series. So I do some smaller game series occasionally which don't require the use of a specific video intro. But I use a generic Demo 2986 video intro which lasts about 8 seconds, which I think King Lemon did about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer now. So if somebody out there that's watching this can indeed craft a new, no longer than 10 seconds, generic Demo 2986 channel video intro that I can use on series for 2022, then hit me up on the Discord or in the other social medias in the comments, and we can and you can send one to me. and I'll use it for 2022 videos. If I get more than one video through from you guys, I'll use them all throughout the course of the year. So this would be quite nice to at least change that up a little bit. But yeah, so that's my two requests. Video intro for the channel for the videos, just a generic one. I will still be having specific intros for the more long-term series, and yeah, just some constructive feedback about things that you might think might be a good change to the channel. So that's it. So my final thing before I sign off, I don't want this video to be too long, is my aims for 2022. It's the new year. You give yourself New Year's resolutions, right? Inside and outside of LPing, and I've got my New Year's resolutions for outside of LPing, which have now obviously changed slightly given my news, because I think getting through what I'm going through now is probably the one resolution that needs to happen first. But on the channel, I set my goal to upload a stream or a video at least 25 days out of the month. Last year was probably the slowest year for uploads and streams and stuff because of the fact that I was busy at work, hence why I've been in this bloody position, sat down for so long. But things are now beginning to pick themselves up a little bit. I'm getting used to the role now and getting into a bit more of a routine with things. And I want to get more regular videos out there and more regular streams out there where I can. And there might be more regular streams now for the next 3 months because I can't play football. So days where I used to play football, I can now stream every single cloud and all that. So for the next 3 months, there will be more streams. But yeah, more streams, more videos, which means quicker pacing through the series, which means I can play more games because my game list is ever growing. Yeah, so the one thing on 2022 that I want to achieve is much more regularity in terms of uploading. And I got off to a fantastic start in 2022 with an upload every day until Friday and yesterday. Naturally, I had other things on my mind, and I was going through things. But I'm back today with an upload of Mass Effect. I'm streaming also later. So, I'm uploading this the same day I'm recording it. So I'm going to football this evening to deliver the news to my football colleagues to say that I can't play with you anymore for 3 months. And so I will be back about 6:30. So I'm going to set the stream this evening for 7:30. It's going to be Mass Effect. It's the game that I want to play. Given what's happened to me, I want to play a game that I know I'm going to enjoy, that I can just sit back and I don't have to think about too much, that I can just chill out and enjoy with you guys, just chew the fat this evening. So please do pop along, even if you don't necessarily like Mass Effect so much. It'd just be nice to have a chat with some familiar faces for a little while, if you know what I mean. So just pop along, even if it's just for half an hour, just to say hello. It'd be nice to see you guys there. So just please do come along this evening. Stream will start at 7:30. And I'll just dive into some Mass Effect. But more importantly, I think it's just having some company for a little while. So I'll get the stream up later. And then, back into it next week. Because there's no point in moping. There's no point in moping about things. So, we will still look to aim for that. 25 days out of the month, at least, where you get a video, an upload or a stream. Let's get some good games done this year. Let's get some good games done. And let's have some flipping fun. Because I've just realised life is too short. It takes a bit of a health scare to put things into perspective. So, yeah, just do what you damn well enjoy. We work hard enough. Let's just do what we enjoy. So I'm also going to book a holiday. I've not booked a holiday for 2 years. Umming and ahhing. Shall I go on holiday? Oh, but, cool, this could go wrong. This might go wrong. Just do it. So probably next week, I'm going to look and book a holiday. Not for the next 3 months, because I don't really want to go on holiday and take a load of pills and stuff with me, ideally. So I'm probably going to go and book one for maybe sort of about April, May time, in the hope that it might be a bit of a celebratory holiday, that things have got better, but we'll see. But yeah, do what you enjoy. Hope to see you in the stream this evening for a good old chinwag. I'll probably have a glass of wine or something as well, because I can have couple of glasses of wine, it's not a problem, the doctor said. Yeah, the most important thing to finish off again with is get up and move. Until next time, I'll see you soon.